Alright, so before I go in, I have to give information about the meta at the moment. And the meta at the moment is they stopped weapon scaling. So the only way to kill your opponent is through... Well, okay, they stopped weapon scaling, but there's a lot of defensive shield items. So you can't easily kill your opponent through you can't kill your opponent through chip damage or like through going wide on your board. So like you can't do like what I liked to do in the previous patch was I would go pulse rifle and missiles and maybe Uzi and then just buff their damage a lot, or go sharp corners or something and have like 3 different weapons and the core as well, so 4, and then also the other core, the combat core, so 5. So like 5 different weapons all with scaling damage. That doesn't work because they nerfed sharp corners. The only way you can kind of do it is if you find the lifting skill, which is tough because you don't get like it's harder to find. They added more encounters, so it's kind of harder to find skills. Like I used to get like as many as like I could get as many as 20 skills in one run potentially. But that's also if I go really far late game. But that's not happening as frequently because I think they added more encounters. But maybe it's just unlucky. I don't know. Anyway, the other thing besides so basically you can't go wide with weapons. You have to go one beefy single target or a single weapon that's going to kill the opponent in one shot, ideally, and stack crit on it. And you have to do it like it's like a race because both players could stack a massive shield. So that's one option, and then the other option is poison, because there are excellent items for scaling your poison now. And there's like stuff in between is like if you tech, so like I imagine permafreeze is still really good, and if you can destroy the small items, then the poisons will not scale as much. So it's tough. I think I liked going the core because that leads to the poison options. I also think I could potentially look for tech against the shield. I have something in mind. First Aiden is good because it's a 3-second cooldown. I'm not gonna roll, am I? I might roll, but if there's a silver item, I'm gonna be unhappy, which means I'm not gonna roll. I don't want to go to the drone. I think I'll just go here. Right. So because I didn't roll, I can now go into the silver tier shop to buy something, which I'm going to do. This is a little awkward. I like the welding torch. I don't have a way of gaining shield though. I'm gonna take it anyway. Because I think 6 burn is better than the first aid in at least. Maybe this small weapon will be Chris' army knife. Well, I guess I can actually put both of these in instead of the core. Maybe even like this. I think hasting the torch is better than hasting the Uzi. Okay. Will my burn stack? I think there's no chance. But at least it should prevent their shield from stacking enough to deal damage. No, because their heals are gonna stop the burn. So yeah, there's no chance I could win here. Alright, this shop is excellent since I'm looking for a shield. Force field is a win condition in this meta, so I'm gonna take it. Alright, let's see. Upgrading the core is an option. It's not an option, actually. Yeah, the shield item is okay. It's probably the only good option here is getting a shield item. So now I'm broke. I'll get another shield item over the XP. Okay. So now, how do I do this? I think if I just do this, I should win against Tent City Mayor. I don't really need to do anything else. Because the way the attacks work out is that the 50 shield will come, and then I'll deal damage. And I don't think they're ever able to... I mean, I know for sure they're never able to get to my health after the first Cosmic Amulet activation, so... Like, I mean, that's why I did this. Dog is similar to when I so Dog and Beast of Burden are kind of similar. Dog is easier for me to scale because I can scale it through small item shops. But so like this could be a win condition if I can get it to diamond. If I can't, it could potentially still be usable, but for now the main focus is going to be force field still. I'm thinking about whether I go for the skill here. Because I can do the I can do this. And I think this is fine, but yeah, I think this is fine.
I may not be
It
the
feels
most
bad
advanced
skipping the
in
small
war,
item shop.
but I must be the cheapest.
So left or right burn is okay to put with welding torch. Going for crit is important though. But then I have to come up with a way of gaining shield still. That's the main problem with force field, is how do I gain a lot of shield? There's blast door and brick buddy. Brick buddy without the friend core is not good though, so what other option is there? I could do the good old combat core on the left, but that's probably gonna be too slow, but maybe not. However, I think I'm still just gonna go with the burn
Maybe I'm getting better.
and stick with this. Now I'm broke. I don't want a small tool, so I will go for the XP. Or the skill. I think I'm gonna go for the skill. Because the XP is not gonna lead to me leveling up. I wonder if that skill is going to be relevant to whether I win or lose here. I don't know. So it's -6. So if I didn't get that skill, do I think they would have survived the force field shot? Maybe. And then as a result, I may have died to the poison. Okay, this is the same exact scenario. Do I go again? Sure. Oh, well, it's not a random skill this time, though. I get to actually choose, which is just better. And I like when you burn freeze at the moment, especially since I have 2 burn skills. Okay. So I'm not interested in getting a random tool. I don't think I'm interested in poison. So it's just the XP here. Going for shield items is okay though. I might regret skipping the health, but as based off what I see here, I do not regret it. So blast doors is okay. And Armadillo should probably go in. But it'd have to go in over welding torch. The dog has to go now, sadly. Maybe I take out Cosmic Amulet for Induction Aegis. And then also take out Welding Torch. Maybe I could put it back in, but... that allows me to do this. I don't know if Armadillo will be relevant though. There's a world, it's not gonna happen, but like maybe. So like what if I sell force field to go for the silver force field? That just sounds silly. I'm not doing that.
I've got a lot of work to do, but this'll be fun. lights off when you leave.
Alright, anyway, what do I do now? Do I think shield skills are good, or do I go for medium items? I think for now, I shouldn't need to upgrade my items. However, I don't know. So I guess the reason why I would take shield skills is if I'm going to find something else besides Blast Door to carry me out of the carry me through the game. I guess looking for upgrades early is going to be better than going for the skill.
What can I get you?
I don't like these. I like Chem Snail. I could buy and hold it, but I don't know. I think I'm just trying to not. I don't want to try that build right now. Welding helmet is like induction Aegis. Just on a lower cooldown. Security camera is also an option. Just Brick Buddy is not an option. So I think you're out. Start with a welding helmet. So the idea is Armadillo comes out for this, and then when I level up I also put in security camera. Goggles is not gonna fit. So then yeah, Armadillo's out.
Just toss that on my back and I'll trot it to your door.
I will go for the monster loot and take the free one. Okay, leftmost cooldown would be... Would that be Blast Doors or Force Field? Probably Blast Doors. Scrap is not great at the moment. Core cooldown's irrelevant though, and Cinders is probably not going to be relevant right now. Jeez, what do I do then? I guess I could do the scrap and throw it on induction Aegis just because it's the smallest. Alright. So they have a lot of poison and nothing or barely anything to charge the Blast Door. So what that means is I should probably get rid of Blast Door and put in the core. Although, if it activated once, then it was probably better than everything else I had. It does feel bad not being able to put Welding Torch in. But anyway. Weapons I'm not interested in, so I'm gonna go here and look for a shield item to see what items it could possibly offer. Non-weapon items? I think eventually I'm gonna have to try to put Rays in.
You are enough, friend. But I'm glad you bought this.
it's not likely I use the core for a bit, I will roll. I've changed my mind. I can use the core. The cool LEDs is a little weird. I didn't have to put that in. But this board is fine because after getting the blast door upgrade and cool LEDs, it means all I need to do is let blast doors charge the core to activate force field and also slow the board. Like compared to my other plan, which was just spam shield and hope that they can't get through it and then force field will kill them. Which is fine against poison, but I mean it might also be fine against people who are trying to one-shot. I think the spare change is the best thing here. Okay, I don't like sharpening stone if I'm committed to force field. So it's income or loot. I think it's the loot, even though it's gonna be bronze, or is it silver by now? It's silver? That's decent then. Medium items are alright.
Sale, no sale. I want what's right for you.
Okay. Should I try pulse rifle to charge the core and in turn charge force field? I think security camera is probably not happening, which means
Oh,
I could
delivery's free.
try
I like the exercise.
this. I have no burn. I don't know about this, but I don't really think the burn is gonna be helpful here. I think it's just blast doors has to tank their 1000 damage, which hopefully, because I put cooldown reduction. Okay, well. I needed one attack, I got one attack.
Less blunder, more plunder.
So it is very rough when they don't have a lot of weapons because blast doors won't activate. So this is still a bit tricky. I am gonna get rid of some things I just do not want to get upgraded. It sucks that I wasted all that shield on the small item, but it is what it is. I'm gonna put the scrap on force field instead of putting it on blast door. And I think everything else besides, I don't know. We'll see what it offers me. Both of these are fine. I mean, ideally it would just have been blast door, but it's still alright. Small items could open up. Raise still. Duct tape could open up what? Like if I had armadillo, Like the sharp corners stuff could have still been an option, but I just really don't think the chip damage is good. Because if I just have a blast doors on the board, or if the opponent has blast doors on the board and I'm doing armadillo duct tape or pulse rifle duct tape, their blast doors is gonna scale, and especially if they have it at higher tiers, and then their force field, if they have that, is gonna kill me before my puny armadillo damage does anything. I'm not gonna take the crypto. So this will show an ideal case, because they do hit me with several different weapons, so I can actually scale my shield quickly, and you can see how simple the fight is. I think here I'll go for the crit, and I'm just gonna put it directly on force field. I will go to JJ. I think skipping JJ is gonna be a mistake. Okay, this is interesting. 3-second cooldown versus 4-second cooldown. This will take up one less slot and allow me to put Beta Ray in. It's probably good. I don't really know how significant the freezing small items is gonna be, especially at bronze. Medium item or silver skills? I think I should go silver skills since most of my skills are doing nothing.
Think you're ready for that?
When you poison, enemy weapons lose 3 damage. When you gain burn, gain regeneration, and increase the damage of your weapons by 3 for the fight. Unfortunately, it's gotta be reserve shield if I'm just committing to the one shot.
Hope we can do this again.
But I could see how the stout fire could be good. So like here, this is exactly what I mean. They're gonna hit me a lot with Armadillo, which is just gonna charge my shield, and they're not even gonna like get through the shield. So they are just killing themselves. This is what I mean. Like this is exactly what I mean. Like you can't do this build. The only way you can do it is if blast doors, well, blast doors, assuming it is bugged and it's not supposed to be this high, then I could see that build working. How do I get a burn item on this board? I guess, like, charcoal's not good, 8-second cooldown, so it would have to be one of those small burn items I sold. I think I could still go here, but I already have the freeze one. I just need, like, when you use a large item, burn.
Nightshade knows his poisons, but he's got no...
Which is this one. When the first time you use a large item, burn.
I won't tell anybody you've got that.
Because that just means when the first time you use a large item, freeze. Okay. What else can I do? I can reduce... I mean, this reduces everything's cooldown. Am I committed to this board? I don't mind the missiles. I'm not sure if there's something else that could be better at charging the core than missiles. I mean, I know the rays could be good. Oh, only this one really. So the only other thing is Chem Snail if I have a way of slowing, which is not possible unless I get a slow enchant, so that's much later. So I think I am committed to this board for at least a decent while. Do I want to change anything? I think I should be going for health, because I think having 1000 on day 6 seems low. I will get rid of this. I do have cool LEDs. I don't want it at bronze, so I am going to sell it, and if I come across it at not bronze, I'll be happy. Okay, Infernal. I'm not sure how this is gonna work out. If it kills me too fast or if I can actually one-shot, but I want to try it. I've gotta see what happens. So the burn ticks aren't doing it, so... yeah, so the burn just completely does not interact with my blast shield, or blast doors. So this was a big mistake. Good to know, even though I think I've learned that lesson already, but I'm gonna have to probably learn it like 4 more times before it registers in my brain. That burn and poison just do not interact at all with this, and it's only weapon damage. Going for weapon upgrades is okay.
But I can help you finish a fight.
I could have gone Uzi, maybe. I think missiles is still probably better though. Except missiles would be activating my opponent's blast doors, which means I should be replacing it with Chem Snail like I was like getting at before. I don't mind holding Array. The other ones are not great though. I'll go here for... not for XP, just for the small items. I don't mind business card. Okay. I have an upgrade, so I can upgrade Blast Door. Okay, I lost to Infernal, but I don't think I'm losing any PvPs after upgrading Blast Door. So this person is not going to charge my Blast Doors with anything besides Trebuchet, which might be enough. Would I rather upgrade Force Field or go for health? It's gonna be health. Would I want a combat core? Maybe. Like, how would it work? Combat core would be tech. So basically, every Vanessa is either going to be poison, burn, or one shot. And that means combat core is probably always better against Vanessa than blast doors. So I wouldn't mind holding it for that exact purpose. It wasn't offered, but that's okay. I'll just take this upgrade. Even if it's like barely significant. Welding Torch is never coming back in, unfortunately. It's too big. First Aiden, I don't think ever replaces missiles, but I'm gonna. No, there's. I'll hold it. Seashell and Bottled Lightning are out. Poison items. Would I give 50 health to look at these? I mean, maybe, but I'm not likely to be able to afford anything. But I'll look.
Weapons are loud and messy. Poison is elegant.
So this is a chem snail that has it charges off of shield instead of slow. Which is fairly decent. This one is rough because it's when it specifically gains haste, so it is not easy to activate. So can I make this Armadillo work? I think pulse rifle's never going in, so I'll hold the Armadillo and see what happens. What do I come across later? Because if I get duct tape and then I go toward Rays, then there is a world where I can spam Armadillo and it's kind of rough because it is going to scale their shields, which means they'll potentially one-shot me. I don't know. It's probably a bad idea. But it's just it's only 4 gold, so just like leave it there in case I want to consider it. Any item, the only thing I'd probably get there is something that gives massive cooldown reduction. Because then I'd probably use it instead of the core and beta ray. But then missiles would also have to get off the board. It's like I'm talking about like silencer basically. If I randomly find a silencer from there, I'm not going to be rolling. I think it's better for me to go to small items. In this one, I can roll. Okay. Upgrading the core doesn't matter. Friend cooldown I'm not interested in. Crit is good. Loot items are good, but I still think the crit's better because I can now increase this crit by 30. So 50% crit. Not bad. Day 7, would I rather get XP and gold or would I rather go to Curio? At the moment, the weapon buffs I'm not interested in. The XP I think would be better from the risky encounter. And what else? Cooldown reduction is gonna be like 2 and 3%. Or 2% AoE and 3% targeted, both of which are fairly low compared to what I would get on level up. Well, although they removed it, so I mean, okay, what am I talking about? On level up, there was an option for feathers, which would give you like at this point, I'm getting gold, so that means it would give me 6% cooldown reduction on all my items, and it would give me 2 feathers. So it would give me 12% cooldown reduction on all my items, which is nuts. So anyway, That's not an option anymore, so Curio might be... So like the only option to get feathers or insect wing is on level up if you select junk, or if you go to Curio. At the moment, I think I'd rather just go for the risky encounter. So yeah, it decreases my entire board's cooldowns by 6%. This would drop twice, and that's insane. So like, if, it makes sense why they just had to disable it. The thing on level up that offered 2 feathers. I will also use it right away. So same deal against Vanessa. If I had combat core, I'd be using it here. I think this one, since they're losing so much, they might actually just be spamming weapons though. No, they are going poison, so there's a world where I can lose here, except as soon as I get shield from Blast Door, I crit and then they die.
Got talent. You should put it toward nobler use.
So a question, I guess, is whether it would be better for me to put Blast Doors to the right of the core in those situations where I'd rather have it get charged. I don't think I want to do that.
I would never debase my wares by
Okay, there's the duct tape for that other line I was talking about.
for your size.
First Aiden, heal for 80. That's like, the heal is not going to be relevant. It's like, so first Aiden's heal before before it was changed was like crazy good and still not good enough against poison. And poison was weaker. Poison's now stronger and first Aiden's weaker. So the heal is not going to be enough to help. So I'm not going to do that. I will still open up the opportunity to get what was that noise? Oh. This just upgraded. To get combat core.
This money.
Pylon is also something I would have considered if I did go with the chem snail. Because I would need, like, if I had kept the chem snail and cool LEDs, I had the full board for what I would have wanted, which is beta ray. Oh no, I never had gamma ray though. But I would need beta ray, gamma ray, pylon, chem snail, and cool LEDs and the core. That would be all 10 slots, and that board is a very decent poison and slow board. I think the only thing it's weak to is if someone has a fast one-shot build that also has a way of healing. Which means pig, or anyone who has lifesteal on their force field, or whatever their item is. That's dealing one-shot damage. So, alright. Do I want to go to Joyful Jack? Probably not. I'd rather just continue to get XP. So now I'm on day 8, level 8. Not even 2,000 health yet. Like, there's been times where I've been near 4,000 health at this point, I think. But I'd also be a higher level. Okay. Pearl is out. I think I shouldn't need business card anymore. I think it's the rays are not going to happen though, and first Aiden's not going to happen, which also means I probably should have sold the Armadillo first, but that's okay. core cooldown is actually important. And everything else sucks. Medium weapon could be
I'm pretty late.
a bunch of potentially useful upgrades.
See that mountain? That's Paul.
Random enchantment. Okay, what do I do?
Pleased to meet you.
Missiles, if it's deadly, is good. Otherwise, everything's bad. Blast doors, if it's deadly or shield, it's good. Everything else, even cannot be frozen, is good. The slow and haste could also be. The blast doors has a lot of good options, assuming my opponent is attacking. But if they aren't, then it's bad. Actually, missiles probably, if it has haste or slow, it's still good. It's probably better than putting that on the core. What else could I enchant? I could go on force field for either the slow turbo or crit or cannot be frozen. All of those are fine. I think missiles is gonna be the best though. The only bad one is what is it called? Poison. Poison would have been bad on everything. And deadly would have been bad just because the force field already has decent crit, but I wouldn't really complain about that. So against this, I don't. So they're probably gonna be poison, but poison also has some weapons to charge, I believe. So the blast door might still get charged, and alternatively, if they're doing Armadillo or something wonky like this, then I should still be fine. Unless I'm permafrozen. But I'm not permafrozen, so there's not much they can do to kill me here. I say that, and they almost did, because that Clarence scaled a lot faster than I expected. Probably because of the metronome. Is it because of the metronome? Probably not. I don't know. Anyway, we have Beta Ray for freeze. That's not really offered here, is it? No. So, and I'm not going to be able to upgrade this. This is going to stop appearing at the end of this day. So it might be time to sell it. I don't know. I could look here and see if I find some better replacement. This is an option. It's not great though. I'll go skills because even if I don't upgrade it, it still is just useful for charging the core. So it's probably fine. Slowest weapon is the core, so this is also going to freeze small items, which might not even be bad at this point. First strike I think is terrible. Artillery spotter could be good if I remove Beta Ray. And shield bash? It's gotta be frozen shot. Weapons platform I believe has a... yeah, distributed systems is a good skill. Just for hasting Beta Ray. Kinetic cannon. Alright, let's try that again. I have no space. Why is this back in my inventory? I 100% sold it. That's weird. Okay. Poison is not gonna be good. Upgrading the core is useless. Sharpening stones probably useless. Unless I put it on missiles. Ultimately, I think the XP is gonna be more useful than everything else. Here, gold could be okay, because I have 2 gold items on my board. Goldie, the merchant, I mean. What about here? I think I should just go to the temporary boost. To just try to make sure I survive against a one-shot. Because, like, I have a very low amount of health. Which probably means I should have selected the health instead of going to Goldie. So that was definitely a mistake. Against this, once again, what I said before was... I think Combat Core is better than Blastor, but... I don't think Silver Combat Core is going to be better than Gold Blastor for shielding purposes. Alright, so they only have this weapon, which is a 2.8 second cooldown, which does help me a lot. They do heal a lot, but they're not touching my shield, so I might have a chance. No, I froze their weapon. 1.4 second cooldown, and I froze it, so I killed myself there. That's interesting. I think that convinces me to take out that item.
Some forge boss say I hide behind my shields. But victory is victory.
It's gotta be this. 30 shield for a little bit more damage.
Shield goes in the middle. Zip, right?
I'll go to the shop.
A friend.
Maybe I'll find a better small item. He only has 1 second of charge, unfortunately. Otherwise, he would be not even that bad. Okay. Upgrading this is the best I could do. And Volcus Enforcer or Property Baron? Property Baron. I'm trying to see if I can use items, but I don't have properties.
It's personal. For us, it's a job.
Whoa. That's weird. That by going into the card it just cuts the audio. That's what I was distracted by. When I right clicked it, it looked like it froze, but then I could just unfreeze by right clicking. Okay, temporary boost or look for combat core or force field. I think I wouldn't mind getting the combat core or Crane. Maybe Crane is valid. I don't think I activate enough, but I think Crane could be good in a different build. I will go for the gumballs here. Against Pig, I will go with Blastors, although they are also likely to just have a one-shot build. They used to have bees, they might still have bees, so maybe I could try this. They could also have Yo-Yo. The alternative is if I think it's going to be a slow fight, I put in combat core. But if it's a slow, not a slow fight, what do I mean? I don't know. It's so hard for me to like reason that combat core could be better than blast doors. The only way it's not better is if they have 0 weapons and they are very slow. They have 2 weapons and they have 100% crit. So they get through my shields, but they also charge it. I have no freeze target. Yeah, they are not. If they fail to crit, they don't get through my shield, so it works out. So, what do I think? If this were a different build, they would have killed me if they had more damage, and I've seen pigs have way more damage than that number. I don't think hero merchants are gonna help me here. I'll just take a friend, I guess. So I could go... I think I'll go here for the enchanted
Got
item.
scales? I can forge some for you.
Chrono barrier? Maybe I do that instead of the core, but then missiles doesn't reload. But like the reality is that like these 2 are my only real items, and then like these 3 are hardly doing anything. So maybe Chrono Barrier is fine. At this point, you're out. You're out. I'll have to see what kind of replacement I could find for missiles. Okay, maybe if I get the skill from here, then I will only use this blast door as my medium item, and I take out both missiles and the core and bring in combat core. So yeah, this is another example of why you can't weapon spam. You just charge the blast door. Okay, we got hyper focus. So the plan is something like this. So this is funny because it looks like the pulse rifle build, but with blast door instead. And it's actually true too. It is just a better pulse rifle here because this is a 1000 damage caltrops with extra steps. I'll look for a small item.
Craftsman blames his tool. A good one buys mine.
The battery
It's always that
could be
tool
better
you thought
than
you'd
duct
never need
tape.
that ends up saving your butt.
XP, scrap, tool cooldown to reduce battery. Or get a tool. I'll get a tool to see if I can find something to replace this. Alright, this business card can go.
See ya.
Free skills are probably better than whatever I would find. Core freeze. Sure.
Dogs killed them. You know that, right?
Alright, let's see what happens.
We're out to dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobody.
What is this? Were they gonna...
Defeat does not defeat me.
I mean, this is another thing. Weapon spam charges blast doors and they die. What was supposed to happen? It's a low cooldown, double crit, and they would have... the crit would have gone up, maybe? Whatever, I don't know.
Don't get so defensive, Fortis. But I'm a shield master.
Defensive stance is like barely good. Medium medium shield is better. I mean, titanium casing is, I mean, both, yeah, they're all bad. So I'm just gonna get the cheapest one.
If you wield it well enough,
I'll go health.
shield can be its own kind of weapon.
From here, it could be when a non-weapon item is used slow. That skill might be more helpful. Even though it's going to slow 3 of my items, I could change some of my items. But also, if they have weapons, they will die because they're going to charge the blast door. So ultimately, getting this skill is better for me no matter what. Unfortunately, I didn't hit it. That's okay. What do I think? This is the last day, so shield, 1300 shield is excellent. Core cooldown is probably going to be better than the health here. This will give me a chance at finding an upgrade to the core. Or an upgrade to force field, I guess that's fine. I could get a light bulb to give more crit. Could that be better than the freeze ray? Or beta ray? Right, this is not better.
Small items. Grotesque excess.
It could be better. Because from what I saw, the freeze hurt more than it helped. So I think
That's how it's done.
this positioning. Let's give both of these crit, unless I want to give the blast doors crit. Ultimately, the only crit that matters is the one on force field, though. Okay, let's see. Pigs usually are one-shotting. Let's see how big his number is compared to mine. He has freeze. Okay, well. The only problem is if he's freezing my whole board. He does significantly chunk at my shield. So I am dead here. The battery never got to fire because he was perma-freezing it because it was small, so that's unfortunate. What would I want to enchant with shield? I could do the blast doors for double shield. Probably the best thing I could do. Which is what I did the other game as well. So I appear to be a blast doors one trick until the item is changed, I guess. Maybe Chrono Barrier is better. Against that opponent, the lateral would not have been affected, but the other items might have been affected by Chrono Barrier. It's also unfortunate they permafroze the battery. I don't know. Maybe diamond tier item has a small item that's crazy.
To sell luxury. Cheap knockoffs, like himself.
I don't think anything there is worth getting.
Back into your swamp of mediocrity.
So just a temporary boost for health. I will try Boss Harrow again.
I'll do this one myself. This ain't over, buddy.
The Toxic Armadillo is never going in here. Let me see. Weapons, it's only going to be Combat Core. Combat Core is barely relevant. Potentially completely irrelevant. Like, there is a world where I just go Chrono Barrier and I find another item to put in. Probably not a weapon, though. This one's not happening. I'd really like for missiles to go in. Maybe missiles is just gonna be better than these, since it will reload. I could see this being better. Okay, so these are all out. The only thing left is to think about Chrono Barrier. I don't mind missiles cooldown being reduced now when there's no other options that are good. Maybe this has something absurd. Charging an item, maybe I'll buy it.
So glad we could share this experience today.
Okay, nothing. Alright, so what do I think? Should Chrono Barrier be used with Nitro? Or let me say that differently. Do I put in the core Chrono Barrier and Nitro instead of Turbo Missiles and Combat Core? Probably not. This is just gonna be pufferfish with water wheel, I assume.
But I've seen my share of storms.
Oh? It is something that's going to trigger my blast door, but they're also trying to freeze me.
Bring her about!
But yeah,
I've got another salvo in me.
it doesn't work. While blast doors exists, you're only able to do one-shot builds or poison, as far as I can tell. Basically, what I mean is you can't have weapons on the board. Anyway, yeah. So that was an educational run. I learned a lot just by like rambling as I went through it. All right. That's all.